I'm Mishara, trained as a therapist, thriving as a coach, educator, and the owner of 2MD with Love, offering communal mental wellness worldwide. For this video, I spoke with emergency medic and social work teams that I respect and who support human rights violations protests about being on the ground safely during a protest action. These teams recommended care for your body's needs, your body's emotions, and your body's safety in the face of chronic traumatic harm. Here's what they said you should know about the time before, during, and after a protest against human rights violations. Before you protest, eat, sleep, rest, and hydrate. Pack snacks and supplies for your health and safety and dress in layers. Those layers are for weather, body movement, and to strip out of these external layers in case of physical or chemical harm. Have the phone numbers of the people who helped you write your I Need Help plan, which I will describe in the next video, written on your arm with a Sharpie. Give your support people your medical information. Remember, the support person or persons who you choose should be people who, like you, have their own daily mental wellness practices, and these are described in the next video as well. This is so they are able to care for their own needs compassionately and have the skills to not mentally self-sabotage while they are trying to care for your needs. If you have a chronic health condition like asthma or diabetes, consider finding a medic when you arrive at the protest against human rights violations and let them know. Decide what actions you are willing and not willing to take at this protest against harm based on your personal health and understanding of risk. Know that your needs are allowed to shift and to change. Make sure that you know what groups are officially leading the human rights violations protest and which ones may be there with different intentions for trauma survivors. Consider a group's stated purpose for taking the action, and if that protest action is being taken for and with trauma survivors. Think about if the group is themselves the group of the trauma survivors. This can help you decide if you want to put your body at this particular gathering against chronic harm. During the protest, be aware of your surroundings. Be within speaking distance of health helpers and leaders. Be cautious not to follow groups that break away from the leaders and the health medics. Leaders and health medics should be trained, practiced, mentored, and experienced in keeping you safe. Your body's emotions and the emotions in the bodies of others around you may be high. Every so often, stop and monitor your heart rate and your breathing. Take a few short, calm breaths. If your heart rate is high and does not slow, or if you find you are unable to take a full, calm breath, see if you can step to a quieter, safer area, get a drink, and practice your breathing. Why? Because no one wants a martyr. No one wants you to be harmed at a protest against your harm. If your body is giving you the message that it's time to go, trust your gut, trust your stomach, and leave. Pause to drink more water and electrolytes, to eat more protein, and to stay present and attentive to your surroundings. Be prepared to de-escalate situations if conflict arises. This is a note especially for allies whose bodies are not at the most risk. Never escalate interactions and instead prioritize the physical and emotional health of the persons who currently live with the most chronic danger, the danger you are protesting. Be willing to follow instead of lead. After the protest, your body may have normal, healthy waves of emotions such as excitement, anger, sadness, or exhaustion from the chronic nature of human rights violations. Give yourself space to let these feelings be experienced. Don't calm or push them down and away. Let your emotions be acknowledged. Give yourself permission to have your exact emotions. Express those emotions and then release them. Again, those steps are acknowledge, validate, express, and release. You cannot simply let go of or release an emotion that was not acknowledged, validated by you, or expressed in a healthy way for you. Emotions in bodies can show up as physical pain too, so treat your body extra gently for the next few days after. Adrenaline can reduce your thirst and hunger sensors, so eat and drink water, even if you don't think you want to. After experiencing the whole body emotions of a human rights violation protest, some people may feel like they want to talk. Other people may feel like they want to go into a cave and rest. Check in with what your body wants to do and rejuvenate it without harming your health. Reach out within 24 hours, that's one day, to your support person, the person we will describe in your I Need Help plan, and let them know how you're doing, what you experienced at the protest, and what you may need for support during the rest of your week. Breathe, exercise, meditate, journal, and connect with the support services, care teams, and mental wellness professionals that are best for you. Remember, these are folks that were identified before you attended the protest against human rights violations. They are the people who you will list in your I Need Help plan. Okay, so about that emotional expression step from earlier, how do you generally express your emotions? You can do this in the way that is most truthful and honest for you. Express your experience and your emotions in ways that restore you, like art or music or something else you prefer. Move your body, stomp. If you're angry, consider putting dishes from the thrift store in a pillowcase and breaking them. If you've got anger, that's cool. Anger is a healthy part of grief and a healthy human. So take care of your body as if it's been through some things, because it has. And trauma stays in bodies that can't acknowledge, validate, and express to release emotions. So we want you to release. When you are restored with your own daily mental wellness practices described in the next video, only then should you check in on how others are doing, when you yourself are safe and stable. When to reach out for some extra help. If after the protest you notice that things are out of whack inside of you and you've tried your practices, but that wacky feeling isn't getting better, good job listening to it. Keep trusting it. It's time to reach out. Here are some examples. You're having thoughts that keep you from functioning. Your body's emotions, even after acknowledging, validating, and fully expressing them, are making it so you're not able to do what you need to do for your regular self-care. Maybe your breathing is shallow. There's a sensation that there's pressure in your chest. You feel strong worry or a sense of doom. You feel confused or lightheaded. There are continual body sensations like an upset stomach, an appetite that won't quite come back, or a feeling of a sense of armor across your shoulders or your chest. Maybe even your thoughts that are racing in your mind instead of coming to you smoothly. These are things to pay attention to. Notice if you have a very fast heartbeat, are getting shook up days later very easily with quick reflexes and irritability. Notice if after the protest you're having trouble sleeping, not doing the things that you love because you don't feel quite as passionate. Maybe your eyesight is unclear and you have poor body temperature regulation. This is exactly what the health medics and care teams are for. So ask them for the help that you deserve, both during and after the human rights violations protests. How can community identify when there is a safe health and trauma survivor focused helper team connected to an organization? When you are speaking, safe people who approach you will do more listening than talking. Their body language and communication will feel warm. They will tell you their name, what their role is, and ask if they are allowed to touch or help you. If you say you would rather have help from someone who shares your identities, they will not be offended or make your needs about their feelings. They will ask you what you need. They will ask you questions, maybe about what care steps you've already tried. They will assume that you are the only expert about your health, your harm, your body, and your life. Notice if a person jumps straight to telling you what to do. Notice if they affirm your reality or minimize what you have experienced. Someone in a support role should not be questioning your experiences or your reactions to chronic harm, but rather working with you to find a greater sense of safety and health. There should be no shame, no lectures, no sense of excitement, coldness, or arrogance about your harm. And they should be in a squad, a coordinated team, not a solo, unsupervised individual at a protest who just wants to do good. Remember, this is a safety, health, and trauma survivor-focused team. So they should be trained in how to calm stressful situations for survivors. And they should mutually support each other as they do their own daily mental wellness practices for their own care. Water break. These times of health teams were also helpful for folks like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to have support, even though his actions for self-worth were considered a dangerous disturbance of the peace at that time. With any group that says they take actions for human worth, dignity, safety, and joy, look for consistency. Does the harm protesting group or the health and safety team pop up and then disappear into the shadows, so you never are quite sure if there's an actual group for human thriving or not? You get to connect with organizations that have the type of consistency that works best for you. In conclusion, you and your body are the experts on your safety and care. Trusting yourself and trusting new supports after and during chronic trauma is hard. You're allowed to listen to yourself and how you feel. You're allowed to stop just surviving and make choices about your thriving. To learn about developing your personal care plan, aka the I need help plan for before, during, or after a protest about your right to exist with self-worth in the world, check out the next video on how to further prepare your brain and your body for a human rights violation protest experience. Also, you will learn who to contact if you need support putting together your care plan.